got a little bit of a glitch going on here. Not sure what's going on with it. This truck just does not want to move. It's stuck here. This is Pioneer, and I can't cancel its tasks. I can't tell it to really do anything. It might just be something graphical, like maybe the truck is doing what it's supposed to do, but I just haven't noticed it moving or doing anything. So I'm gonna click this. I'm gonna say, hey, I want to set up your route. Now you'll notice also that if I was to, oh, hang on. Come on, interface, you can do it. Okay. Normally you'd be able to cancel task, which right now it just says idle, right? So normally I'd be able to right click and move it around, and I can't actually do that. It doesn't let me do that. So if I set up a route for it and I say, hey, why don't you go and bother Zenith really quick and, you know, fill it up and patrol that, go. All right, so you'd think, okay, sure. So I set the patrol up and it's gonna start moving now, but it doesn't do that. It says on its way, arrival 6 days, okay? And it just stays there. So if I come out here, this is Pioneer, right? So Pioneer has 6 days till arrival, and I'm not seeing Pioneer even on the map at all. So in other words, I think I just lost a truck. And that's just how it is. So it's fine. I'm gonna move you down here because you're kind of in the middle of this whole mess here. And then I'd like to get a truck that can start bringing stuff over here. Apparently I've been paying $5,500 per month just for this so far. And to establish construction of everything, I need to bring these resources. We're nearly there on modular terminals. We're nearly there. Let me show you just how nearly there we are. Okay, so if I come on over here and I click this, we got 67 more to deliver here. All right, and then that's it. Modular frames or modular terminals are done, and we can start working exclusively on composites and bringing them in. And we've already been working on composites this whole time. In fact, this is at 653. Now, that's not the 3,000 I need, of course, but we are well on our way. We have over 920 days left to go. I've expanded to almost another full row of batteries. It won't let me build here, so I can't build a battery there, but it's fine. And my MDR mining speed upgrade just finished. I'm going to go ahead and queue up the next mining speed upgrade too, because I just want these things to be super, well, just super. I want them to be super. So MDR is going to become super MDR at some point here. Okay. All right, cool. So that's, you've been updated now. I'm at 1.25 million, and I can look at my resources and say, hey, how about we send some fuel out somewhere? I could just start doing these things again, and I'll be right back. Seems like all the contracts that involve carbon fiber also involve food or medicine. Very rarely do I see a contract available with carbon fiber, whether it's on the surface or not, that doesn't have food or medicine with it. So that's a little weird. They're kind of, I guess, in a way linked, I suppose, which is kind of, I mean, they both use organics, food and carbon fiber both use organics to produce them, but I just don't know why they have to be like that. I'm also having a hard time getting rid of my duralumin plate because all of these contracts want to go to the surface, which is fine. You do get paid pretty well for these surface ones, but my expedition center is a little busy, so I'm not like full on any of these things just yet. I have a lot of rare earth elements too. That'd be kind of nice to sell those if I could. They're just not worth much, and not a whole lot of people want them. So yeah. Anyway, contracts are a thing. I'm down a little bit here just because I've been upgrading a few things. I've changed, like I've upgraded the red belt here. The return belt is now red on that side. I've added also an extra way of getting aluminum down because this is getting full. I'm not able to process it fast enough over here. And so primarily because of titanium now. So I need to get more titanium flowing in here. I mean, there's quite a bit here, but it's just kind of stuck right here. So most of the titanium's going that way. I still need to probably separate this source, actually, you know? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to separate this source now. We're going to go like this. This is, I think, a better way to do this. So we're going to say that aluminum still comes through here. Okay. But we're going to make some changes here. So I'm going to take this away. It's no longer red. This is just going to be And I can just go straight out here now, can't I? Yeah, I don't have to zigzag anymore. I can go like this instead. So we'll just go like this. Okay. Bring this off. And yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. That's dedicated aluminum now. So we're going to make sure that the only thing that comes in here is the aluminum oxide. All right, good. That's separated appropriately now. And I probably should do that because I want it to come through like that. Yeah. Okay, so with that done, now I should be able to come over and I guess I will just take and go like this with it. I guess it doesn't need to be yellow, although I could get away with yellow. I do have a lot of titanium, so I think I will actually just upgrade the belt. Yeah, we'll just upgrade this belt right here. Let's disconnect this really quick. Go like this. There we go. Upgrade that one too, and upgrade that one and that. Okay. So now I should be able to connect you and go 1, 2, done. And that would be only titanium, just to make sure, like that. And then we'll have that be the priority direction. So now less titanium going down here until this belt is full. But now we can process this stuff a lot more, make even more duralumin plate that I can't get rid of, and proceed from there. Let's go ahead and upgrade you, upgrade you. And we want this stuff to come down a lot faster. So let's just keep this going like this. And we should be very close now to having this stuff leave. It's gone now. Okay, so that's it. Modular frames, or sorry, modular terminals. We can close this finally. And we can start to collect modular terminals and storage, which is great because now it means we can build a lot of the things we need to build. We can fix a lot of the things we need to fix, etc. Research on outpost structure expansions is almost done, but I really don't even need that. I'm going to push this up instead. I'm going to put the MDR speed upgrade up instead. And let's take a look at research really quick. Can I buy a couple of vowels here? There we go. And you know what? Let's just invest some more in science that way too. So we'll get some more science going there as well. Some of you guys in the comments have mentioned that you do, in fact, get to have multiple cargo docks. You've managed to get multiples to work. Like I believe you. I'm not sure how to make it work. I played around with that for like about an hour off camera, trying to get them to go to the other one. And the only thing I could come up with to make that happen was to have different resources delivered to different cargo docks. Maybe I'm just not doing it correctly. You know, I'm sure there's something going on there. Maybe I have to reset. I didn't try resetting the routes after building one, so maybe that's something I have to do. I don't know. But either way, I think I'm getting on just fine with one. I do get it all stored up, but it all gets used and it gets processed very quickly. And as the trucks move out, you know, now it's starting to build up. With the speed upgrade for the MDR, that's where it's really going to start coming in here. I do have these stationed pretty close to where these things like queue up, you know, because they go pending and everything. Also, a lot of you guys, you know, told me why they're bunching up and stuff is because some of them are using fuel and some of them are not. And that's an excellent point. I'm going to have them all not use fuel because I just don't see a point in having them go faster until MDR is faster, in which case now MDR is faster. So perhaps the speed upgrade will make the difference there. But up until recently, these numbers have always been pretty consistently 0. And now I get to see, you know, yeah, there's a little bit there, but this guy just left. This guy just left and we're back down to 298. So there's maybe a good case to be made to have these guys kind of space out. Like these guys here could space out, right? I could maybe get this to not go. Yeah, these are, yeah, they're not that bad. They're not that bad. Let's have you use some fuel for a bit, get you a bit more spaced out, get you a little bit further ahead of everybody. And I could probably do it on this one too. If I want to micromanage it, I could spread these guys out just a little bit more by kind of turning on and off their fuel usage, and that'll get them moving a little bit faster too. So that spreads them out pretty well. I'm all right with that. All right, so this truck right here is on its way over to deliver the final bits of modular terminals, and then we need to start working on composites. We're going to need about 2,800 more composites And we currently have in storage 712 composites. Okay, now I can make another MDR too. I can, and I'm considering doing so. I need to get my large vehicle assembly building built again. And now these ones are done. That's cool. I'm going to put this over here. I don't think it truly matters where I put them because I'm not delivering resources with belts. So I'm going to just say here is fine. That way it'll get built and then it'll just go that way and leave the map. Everything is okay. The next thing to do then, if we had a truck available, which I do not, would be to start delivering composites. But since I don't have 2,000 something, it kind of doesn't matter. So we'll keep doing that. On that note, these are where we make our composites, these high-tech factories. And we are producing resources fast enough to feed these things, I think, at level 2. So research-wise, it probably is a good idea for me to get going on not assembler upgrade, but high-tech factory upgrade. So I think maybe we'll do this one. Let's do it before MDR upgrade. Let's put everything into this for now. Yeah. The speed upgrade can wait. And then by the time we get these two done, we'll probably have enough slag to really justify that. But I don't know just yet. Let me just take a look at how my smart concrete is working out here. Over here. So we do see, yeah, a lot of the slag and stuff is stopping, but it's not getting backed up. So we're processing slag at a good pace right now. It's not getting super backed up. If it was getting super backed up, we would see this belt stopping, and this belt doesn't appear to be stopping at all. It's flowing pretty well. So I think we're going to keep at this. I could maybe upgrade this one to be a little bit faster. That would send it through here a little bit quicker. Let's upgrade this one and this one just to kind of get that flowing a little bit faster into these other machines back here. That's good. Yeah, maybe upgrade that one right there too. And then that one's probably fine. Yeah, that one's fine. All right, sweet. The other thing is we now have an abundance of rare earth elements. We got a lot of them now. We actually are overloaded there, and processing has been going pretty well. I did not upgrade these machines, thankfully, because, I mean, that's great. We have a lot of rare earths now, and our storage is now full, which is great over here. So what I've done is I've modified this to where it is it's prioritization into the machines. So it's always going to go there first, but it then comes out through here. I've upgraded these belts a little bit, and then it splits into its own source. So rare earths are now on a separate belt headed that way. It's a little more expensive to do that, but it's definitely making things a lot smoother. And then any other resource that gets delivered to cargo will wind up on this belt. And then that resource, right now it's just rare earths, but any other resource, we pick up, let's say we, I don't know, pick up aluminum or something. It'll end up on this too. And then it comes down and then it gets sorted this direction. And then this determines where it actually goes, that way or that way. And then this one, again, just kind of pushes things. So there we go. So with the high-tech upgrade, we'll be able to make composites a lot faster. I need a lot more titanium, though. Like, this whole thing is just like, please feed us. We don't have any titanium to process. And I'm just sort of like, yeah, man, I mean, I need to get it. So I think this is where having another MDR is going to be a really big deal. We should have all of these. Dedicating 60 composites to this right now kind of hurts a little bit, but getting another MDR and then placing it squarely on a titanium location would be, I think that's going to be huge. And then the titanium is actually, prioritized going this way, which is one of the reasons why it's not down there yet. But as these machines fill up and this resource starts to back up, that'll change. So I'm just going to go ahead. Let's leave that. I don't need the duralumin plate very much, so let's just leave those as they are. But I do want to upgrade these to get this resource moving. Let's get this flowing so that these machines can be full. If we get them filled up, then this belt will back up, and then that's when all this titanium will then start going back down here, and it won't be so starved. I could also just kind of do this now because I think it'll probably on its own, it'll happen at this point. Yeah.
Package delivered.
It's already backed up to here, so it's all right. Yeah, these are flowing, and this will fill up pretty soon too. Okay, so the only downside of having a single cargo dock, right, is that only one truck can drop it off at a time. That's obviously the bottleneck. It's obviously the there we go. Yeah, it's obviously the weakness of it. But as long as these things are flowing out of them really fast, I'm okay with it. If these things start to get really built up in storage and everything, then it kind of doesn't matter, right? Because my bottleneck is the single and the storage, and at that point, it's really a processing bottleneck. So what I kind of want to do is make sure that I think I want to feed this storage a little bit faster, to be honest. I think I do. I want to feed this storage a little faster. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like that and then prioritize in that direction. But it's going to allow me to at least not have this stop anymore, and it can flow into storage a little bit faster for now. And then the rare earths are going to start building up here too, which is cool. I'm all right with it. Okay, so power is now provided to the new large vehicle assembly facility. Good. At least it should be. There should be power on this now. Good. Okay, so what we want to do is I want to build another MDR, but this takes composites as well, and it's like, oh, I don't want to do that, but I need more titanium being brought in. I really need a little more resources even still, because if these things are going to start filling up, as they are, probably, I'm going to need more trucks as well. Okay, so maybe I don't need... Let's see, aluminum, iron. This one's aluminum and iron. This one is aluminum and titanium, and then this one should hopefully have no aluminum. Good. Okay, and this is a good mix of everything. So I do need something that's going to provide me with a better source of titanium. Perhaps I simply move this one to where it's just a little less. Like if I can find, for example, a little higher concentration. Yeah, there we go. Maybe I move this one a little bit more this way. I can go maybe there with it instead. Yeah, there's a little bit of iron there. No silicon, which is fine. I think I want to do that. I'm going to move this one to, let's put it there. You'll still get a little bit of aluminum, but you're going to get a lot more titanium, which is what I'm hoping for. And then that one, maybe that'll save us. I don't know. We'll see. But I was going to have another one. I think, though, because this takes composites and because my drilling rigs are kind of filling up as is, why don't we build the new Helium 3 harvester instead? And we can send this to that land that we are paying rent on now. And we can start getting Helium 3. And then maybe we can use Helium 3 for alternative recipes, potentially. So if I go to production, go to manufacturer, you can see that the composites, there's a recipe here to use all of these excess rare earth elements that I have, the excess carbon fiber that I have. I'm also making excess aluminum too, and so then I just bring in the Helium 3 and now I have more composites. So we could maybe make that work too. If I was going to do that, then it would probably need to be over here somewhere, I would think, because we would need to make them over where my rare earth elements are, although I'm making them over here too. Rare earth elements are being made here. I could then redirect that supply coming out to over here. Ah, that's a good idea. But then the carbon fiber is not being routed very well either. I suppose one way to do this, probably a very easy way to do this, is to take the rare earths that are already going in here. I'm going to open up this exit that I've got to, when this fills up, I want to send it to over where we're going to sell it, right? So I've got this. I can send all these rare earths over here, which there's already a bunch over there. 737 of them now. Maybe we could take the carbon fiber from here. Just trying to figure out how I would do this, because we're almost like we're filling up over here. So I want to find a way to send carbon fiber and the other resources that I need to make that with the manufacturer. How am I getting them here? We could do it back here. We could do, if it lets me build here, which I don't believe it does. Doesn't let me build here. I can do it here. That's just not enough space. So I need to do it over in this area. Yeah. So we'll need to have a belt, probably right here. Yeah, right here, right? Pull it off of the supply from this point, bring it down, and then all the rare earths that come into storage will then deviate this way first as a priority. We'll also have all of the carbon fiber, etc. All that stuff will get deviated. And then if I need more of it, just to inject it, I'll just open this up. And when it comes back around, it will then get directed that way. So I don't need additional... I mean, I'm going to have additional production, but I don't need like a whole lot of additional work for this. I just need a belt, basically. So let's try this. A manufacturer over here. This sends the duralumin plate over to there and brings it down. I don't want that. I want this output to end up essentially in the system. So it would actually need to come in right here. Okay, this is going to work then, I think. So what we'll do is we'll have this. Let's have you be 1, 2. How far over can I go? Pretty far. Okay, so manufacturer, let's say here. I can't build here though. I can. Can a belt go here? That's the big question: is where's the belt? Where's the belt gonna go? All right, so there's a belt coming through this way. It needs to be separated though. That's the hard part. I've got to separate them. There's got to be 5 belts that run through here, 1 for each resource, and then the exit output that puts it into here. So this will be the output belt that puts the... Oh, I certainly don't need that. This will be the output belt that gets the composites into storage here. All right, so all the composites will end up here into there. So that means I think I'm going to need, what, 4 belts to make this work? I think I got to do 2 and then split later, but yeah, composites are 4 different resources, which I have an abundance of, and I would like to start using them for something better. So 4 belts is what I need. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Do they allow me to build that far all the way out? They do. Okay. Okay, we can make this work. So 1, 2, 3, 4 belts from here. Let's see about where these manufacturers could go then to make this happen. I'm kind of leaning on the possibility of doing the same thing as I did over here, but it takes up more space. So I'm also trying to avoid that much space, but I don't think I can like really avoid it. I think I'm gonna have to do something a little bit different here. Let's pull you back. How far out can I go with these belts? Is that it? That's it. Okay, so I'm kind of at my limits right now on how far over I can go. Okay, so what we'll want to do then is we want to delete that one. We want to delete that one. Then we also need one more. So we're going to have, let's say, this belt come around tightly so that another belt could then be located here like that. So the output ends up here still, but everything else is flowing this direction, spaced out so that we can get it into manufacturers, which hopefully fit in this gap, and I think they will. So let's say manufacturers, they fit in this gap beautifully. Actually, okay, cool. So we're gonna say that our first manufacturer is located, should be right here. 1, 2, 3. Let's go 4 for now. Okay. Oh shit! Right, this one. Damn. So hang on. I can build. It lets me build this. Not there, but here it does. Oh, okay. Hang on. Wow, what is in my way here that's stopping me from building? I can go all the way out this far. That's all I need. I just need to go out a little further. Yeah. Okay. This is gonna work then. So this is gonna come out here. Okay. You're gonna be out here. You're gonna be out here. Yep. And then you are like this. Okay. Then we're gonna take you back, bring you over like so. Okay. And then we're gonna need this belt to be like that, but I can't build there for some reason, so we're gonna pull this back like so. Okay. Looks a little bit messy, I agree, but it gets the job done around whatever this restriction is. I guess there's some rocks here. I can see them. There's some rocks here that I can't dig. I can't have my drones do anything about them, right? Like sometimes you can click these and you can say, hey, I want to salvage these, and they'll go out and get the rare earths that are there, the aluminum or whatever it is that's at that spot. They'll do it, but this one's not one I can break down, I guess. So it is what it is. So this is how that will come in. So the next question then is, how am I deviating this? How am I breaking this up? So we're gonna say we're gonna go a level 3 belt from here. I'm gonna bring this direction. I think a 3 is okay for now. I'm gonna bring it this direction, and we're gonna go like this. Let's say here for now. Okay, then from here we're gonna split into 2. So we'll go that direction and that direction. Okay. Then from here we'll split into 2 again. Can't, that just doesn't let me build there. It lets me build there though. Okay, so come out a little bit further, then build here. There we go. Okay, now I don't need level 3 on these, but it's fine for now. And then here we go like that and like that, and then this one will be over. I can probably get them to be kind of the same, right? Just to make it look better. Like so. So 2 of the resources will go that direction, 2 of them will go that direction, and then they get split up onto their own respective belts, and they don't get hung up or back, you know, they're not going to back up anything and be stalled unless this whole belt is somehow backed up, which is kind of fine. But individual storages could also be a good idea here. Like buffer storages could be a good idea here. So why don't we pretend, or why don't we not pretend, but just do it. We'll plan to have buffer storages in here just to get a little extra. So I could say something like, bring this back even a little bit more. So I can say there's a buffer storage there for that one. There's a buffer storage here for that one. Let's back this up a little bit more because we can. It doesn't let me put one here. It does. So we'll let there be a buffer storage there and a buffer storage. Oh, this is too close, isn't it? Yeah, it's too close. I'd love to just line them up. Is it going to let me do that? No. It lets me do it here, though, which is kind of interesting. I guess I'd have to do it like, yeah, like this. Okay, we can make this work. We can make this work. Come here. Storage. Buffer. Here, let's say. It's just whether the belt will reach that, and I don't think it will. I'm not allowed to build here. Maybe. It's such a squiggly thing, but yeah, maybe. It works. I can get into there. And you will come in like that. You're gonna go in there, and you're gonna go in there. They're not lined up, but I'm like, this is what I have to do for the spacing of it all. Okay. And then we'll bring you down like that. Then you will come over, and it's fine. I don't know exactly where you're gonna go in yet, so just calm down on that. There we go. And then you are gonna go like that. Okay. The assumption here is that the resource that ends up on this side will be the one that goes in here. Then this one will be the one that goes in there. This one would go there, and then this one, the closest one, would end up going there. That's the assumption right now. I don't know which resource it's going to be. Until these are built, I won't know that. So let's go ahead and get one of them built anyway, so I can see what that's going to end up as. And then the final part of this is just the output belt, which we're going to bring all the way out like this. And boy, would I like to stay away from that so I can potentially use it later. I know it's more squirreliness, but I think it's worth it. Yep, and then we're gonna go over like this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And then from here over and connect. We did it. Now I'm gonna be using 400 units more power with these, right? Because these manufacturers take 100 power each, don't they? Yeah, 100 power and 15 CPU. But I have enough CPU, of course. So 100 power each. If I'm gonna start working with these, that means I'm gonna need to expand my power just a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you here. Let's go ahead and connect you there and there. And then we'll bring another one down from this side here, and we'll connect you here and here. And again, I don't know which resource goes to which output yet, but I believe I'm just gonna structure it to where, you know, this, whatever this is, whatever this bottom belt is, that one's going in here. Okay. There. That's where that's going to go. Whatever this is, that's what that will be. And then this one will end up being that way. This one will go that way, and this one will go that way. Okay? So it just goes boom, boom, boom. Yeah, like that. Cool. Same thing here. Bop. And then bop. And bop. We just do this over and over again until all the machines are fed. And we can always redo the belts later. So for now, I'll just go ahead and do this. I'm not sure I'm going to need any more than what we've already built. So yeah, about like that. Connect that, connect that, connect that. There we go. It's fairly elegant. All these are auto-connected, indeed. I think it works out well. Yeah. So now we'll just have to... Whoa, hold on a minute now. Don't you do this. Now, this is blocked for now. Yeah. You're not going that way. Not yet. Can't have any random resources down here. And then we'll set up the filters down here too, so it gets all split up. Probably want to make that even faster just to really get it to push through. Yeah. And then from here, level 1, I think will be okay. But since it's going into the storages, maybe this could be upgraded since it's going into buffer storages anyway. So we'll do something like that. Yeah, that works. And then from here, we'll have these be level 2. At least to the first machine, and then level 1 from there. Okay, cool. We got, how much our power storage looking like right now? We have 10 days, 9 hours, and I have 15.7 days remaining of power storage. So I don't think storage will be an issue with these extra machines up. I don't think storage will be an issue. I think it's going to be a generational issue. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's gonna feels like, but I can't. I guess it lets me do that, but not this. I can put more solar here, which isn't a bad deal, I suppose. We could say, ooh, I can't quite fit that. Yeah, it wouldn't look good, right? If you're somebody who cares about such things, then it wouldn't look good if I staggered it, but. That actually is gonna fit right in there, doesn't it? Sure does. Like a Lego. I think this will be okay. 300 extra units of power generation during the day to combat 400 extra units of drain, but we already have a surplus during the day. So I think this is just gonna make it a more comfortable transition, I think is what really is what this comes down to. So we'll just connect these up because we can. 3 more big solars. Now, yeah, I could go in to different kinds of power. I could, but that requires research. And like, I'm researching things that are just more important to me right now than to dedicate the research to that. So we're going to hold off on research and such, and we'll see. Okay, let's see what resources we really need to bring this way. So you are going to be creating composites. So with that, okay, helium 3 goes first. So let's do this. Helium 3 goes first. The rare earths go second. Yep, and then aluminum and carbon fiber. So aluminum and then carbon fiber. Okay, so aluminum and carbon fiber are getting filtered here. So we're going to want aluminum there, and this side carbon fiber there. And then on this side, we say that aluminum and carbon fiber go that way. Yep. Which means that this side is for the rare earths and helium 3. And then we want helium 3 to go this direction and rare earths to go that direction. All right. Figured it out. Got everything set. So with that being done, I can now come over here, make sure that this output, as for these resources right here, aluminum, carbon fiber, rare earths, helium 3. And now I can open it up. So now all those resources, prioritization. There we go. So now we prioritize the delivery of those. There's going to be a lot of rare earths coming through here right now because this is open. I'm gonna say, I mean, again, that's the reason for the buffer storage too, though, so it has an overflow. But I'm gonna go ahead and block this for now until that buffer storage is built. And then actually, I think I want to make sure that's built because there's a lot of it coming. So we'll make that sure that one's built first, so it doesn't back up the entire line like this right here. I don't want that to happen. Now this is just prioritization. It's never going to stop the rest of the belt, because if for some reason this is blocked, everything just flows like it never existed anyway. The infrastructure to store all this stuff is already set up, with the exception of helium 3, which is not. The good news about this is that helium 3 storage, for example, can be right here. I could do 2 of them actually for this, and we'll hook them up. We'll say it comes in here and comes out here. So we'll say you are there. Okay. Yep. And then you're just going to connect there. Done. Okay. And you're going to store helium 3, and you're going to store helium 3. Now, when the helium 3, it can then come this way, right? It can be put on this belt. So we can just, I guess, just go, and this is only a level 2 anyway. So we'll just say like this. All right.
Package delivered.
Yeah. So now helium 3 comes through here, and then the overflow is this. So if this belt backs up because of the other 3 resources, and it's like, oh, I can't get helium 3 in there, it will just proceed anyway, end up in its own buffer storage, and then bypass that whole thing and end up on this track. So that's good. I like it. Okay. BEA. Beautiful. So the last thing is getting the helium 3, actually starting to harvest it, which I'm going to go ahead and make this a high priority really quick because I want them to start delivering these things. There's plenty here. I have all of these resources in abundance, so they really should be building them. It's just about getting the drones to go over there and do it. Yeah, there they go. Just needed a little bit of a prioritization bump, and now they'll just bring things over there a lot faster. There we go. Cool. This stuff's just flowing down the belt, getting it all queued up. There's our buffer storage. Pretty good. We can get buffer there and there as well. I know, when everything's high priority, nothing is. I have, what, 52 drones? I think I've got enough to where I can make a couple of high priorities, and then they can divide and conquer on those tasks. I think that's a thing. It's really just to mark them so that we don't continue to bring resources to these before they're functional and like useful. It's really the only reason to do it. This is going to be for composites, and composites, and then we'll have you be a low priority. All right, good. Buffer storages are in place, which means I can go ahead and turn this back on. It already is. It's already on. Yep, there it is. Good. So everything gets filtered. Let's go ahead and upgrade that. Everything's going to get filtered and then go the direction it needs to go, to be separated into its own storages and then distributed to each of the machines. Love it. All right, Helium 3 is not really needed yet, so we're not going to prioritize those storages or anything. But I can open this back up and send that stuff down to empty this out and put that in the buffer storage. I can definitely do that right now. And then as these machines get built, the rare earth storage will start to fill. Yeah, it already is. 96 of them in there. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, though, let's go back to the map. And we want to prompt the final bit for this laser expedition here. So we're going to come over to Cyclops, which is our laser delivery truck. And we're going to tell it to bring the rest of the composites. All right, so that is the thing we can do now. We can come over here and we can say, okay, let's go ahead and unleash the composites, for which we have over 700 in there. It's not enough to satisfy it, but it gives us a solid number. And it also allows us to constantly deliver them as we make them in this setup here as well. You can see we already have elements and stuff being delivered through here. We need more carbon fiber delivered through here too. I'm going to go in as soon as the composites are totally out of this crate. Actually, that doesn't matter, does it? Let's just go ahead and unload them. We're going to open up the carbon fiber bay, let all the carbon fiber out, and then it will work its way around right into this system. And now I think I'm ready to close this. I'm gonna close that again. I've got a lot of these things, but I'm ready to push them through. Let's go like this, so that these things can flow out just a little bit faster. Hopefully, it doesn't seem to be affecting it much, is it? Because of this. Let's turn that on, or turn that up, whatever. Right. Let's get this stuff out. Here we go. Yep. Let's put this up just a little bit higher. There we go. Let that stuff flow out just a little bit faster. And when I now stop feeding it a constant stream, we can then have a little bit more balance here and here, I think. There we go. A bit more balance as designed. And I could also do it over here too, right? Like I can pull a certain resource. You know, maybe I want my rare earths to have its own belt instead. So I can say rare earths come off of this belt and then everything else goes the other way. I don't even need Helium 3 to be coming off of this setup. To be honest, I really never even need to send Helium 3 this way. I can just send it down here and then have it come out here. So that whole thing is kind of redundant. It doesn't even matter. This buffer storage for Helium 3 doesn't even matter because this is the buffer storage for the whole system. So I just have a lot of redundancy built in, I guess. It's fine. Composites are already out. Yes. Carbon fiber is working its way around now, so we should see an abundance of carbon fiber pulling into the system now. There it is. Let's maybe get that sped up just a tad bit more. And the same thing we did over there, we'll do that over here too. Let's upgrade you, upgrade you, let it flow. Let it all flow out of there. There we go. Good amount of buffer storage for that resource as well. Perfect. We'll go ahead and stop that. Save a little bit to sell. But it's all flowing into the machines now. So we're ready to start just making it. We will be ready to start making it as soon as we have Helium 3. Let's take a look. The vehicle's gone. Did it already go to the map? It did. It's right here. So do I assign you? How does this work? Move to here, I guess. Go into the area where it is. Helium 3 extractor must be built. Oh, interesting. How do I extract helium-3 with this machine? Like I can see that it's, I wanted to put it here. Do I have to wait for this thing? Because this is a harvester. But this says that the extractor has to be. So maybe, oh, maybe I need the extractor here to pull the resource, and then this vehicle does the route. You're a harvester. I guess like maybe it needs extracted and then harvested. I guess we'll find out. I don't know how this works, so I guess we'll explore it together. I want to go ahead though and start delivering these things too. And I think in order to do that, I have to use the expedition center, right? Or not. Departure point would be here. Yep. Delivery would be, let's say, which vehicle do we want to use? Preferably something that's, let's use this one. We'll use Citadel. Fill all. There it is. Yep. And then go. So we'll pull Citadel off of its trade route, have it come back. And then let's make MDR now. Now that we have all of those composites delivered here, they won't pull them out of that. And so probably we'll have everything delivered until this. And then all I need to do really, I think at that point, is just close this storage, and then they'll start pulling it out of here once we make it. Okay. Cool. It's going to be daytime now in 13 days. We still have 7, almost 8 days of power, so we're very good on power. And duralumin plate is now full. Again, we don't have a lot of money, but that's what the duralumin plate's for. So we can just send... I'll figure this out. This one here looks like it's pretty good. 15 days, I can do that. But I'll do these, and I'll get you guys back in a little bit, okay? See ya.